I've never been happier to be wrong. I said this time last week, we're going to start this show and me being pissed about the fact that the next Patriots quarterback is J.J. McCarthy. And thank God that did not come to fruition. Because I was reading the signs. I believed in McCarthyism. And much like the McCarthyism of, 60, 70 years ago, whatever the hell it is, don't make me do the math, it eventually just went off into the ether. And it happened here with the Patriots, too. They did the right and logical thing. And that doesn't mean that I love Drake Maye. I've talked myself into Drake Maye. The guy I wanted was Jaden Daniels. But, they screwed that up last year by winning those useless games in Pittsburgh and Denver. But I've talked myself into Drake Maye because I see the upside. I see the arm strength. I do think it's gotten a little wacky here these last couple of weeks where there's he could be Josh Allen. Arm strength, sure. Speed, size, you want to believe that. I think you're sticking your head in the sand and, avoiding certain things about this kid. He just doesn't physically compare to what Josh Allen was even coming out of Wyoming. But I see the upside of him. I'm glad that they did this. But he's no, checks all the boxes guy. I've also heard that in the last 24 hours or so. He checks all the boxes. Does he? Who the hell knows? I just know he was highly rated. The little bit that I've seen, I don't love. I've talked myself into it. I see the upside. They swung for the fences. To me, this was the logical thing. And we're not talking about J.J. McCarthy on the Patriots. Thank God.
Mazz.
Okay, so you guys are both golfers. Let me ask you a simple question. And Murray, you work with me, Mike. Murray.
You're starting with the suckier of the two.
No.
No, it's true.
You get on the tee box.
Yeah.
You hit the ball to the left. It goes out of bounds. You put another ball in the tee. Where is it likely to go?
Left.
Right. Right. The opposite happens.
Well, either way, it's going into the woods.
You overcompensate. It goes right. You follow me, Mike?
Of course.
Okay, you hit one left, you put the ball in the tee, the next one goes right because you overcompensate. I hope, this is my one fear with this kid, because we all see the tools. Big body, big arm, he can run, he's an athlete. And again, we don't have to worry about a weak arm quarterback anymore, which brings me to the last time they drafted a quarterback. What did they value? They valued the cerebral part of it. They valued the accuracy. They valued the line of scrimmage and the pre-snap. They valued all of that stuff. My one concern is that this is the counter reaction to the initial reaction.
I see your point.
That they went too far in the opposite direction, and now they sat there, and I hope that in these meetings and all these discussions, they didn't sit there and say, well, look, the last time we wanted a cerebral quarterback and a guy who could run the offense and put everything in place pre-snap. That's what we wanted. And what did we get? We got a guy who couldn't lead, who had a weak arm, who was a wuss bag, who the other guys in the locker room hated. So what did they get this time? They got a big, strong athlete who can throw, who can run, but he might need work at the line of scrimmage. He might not have the finer points down. He's inexperienced. If this kid fails, it's going to be for those reasons. I think it's not going to be because of his physical tools. That's my concern, is that in some way the Patriots were so eager to avoid Mac Jones again that they ended up with the exact opposite, which is a physically gifted quarterback who might not have all of the aptitude and mental tools to play the position. I'm not saying he does or doesn't. I'm just saying I think that's the question with this kid. And based on some of the commentary that we have heard before and after the draft, I think that's been validated.
Okay. 617-779-0985. My opening take quickly is on the most controversial pick of the first round last night. That was Michael Penix to the Atlanta Falcons at number 8. This decision has been roundly criticized, of course. I love it. And I would love it. That's not just me going against the grain to go against the grain. You know how I feel about that plan at quarterback. I've been a huge proponent of it. It's the one thing Green Bay has gotten right over the years. And it's what I wanted you to do. It's why I liked Garoppolo. So this is not just me being a contrarian to be a contrarian. This is right up my alley, and you know it if you've been listening over the years. I think that is brilliant. It's what you should have done. It's what I would have wanted my team to do. You need a quarterback. You're in quarterback purgatory. Draft a guy up high and sign a guy to play in the interim because you don't have to play the guy right out of the chute. Perfect. Brilliant. Oh, but what about the money? What about the money? It's a 2-year deal. $45 million per. It's what it is. It was announced as 4 years and $160. You know how this goes. The $90 million's guaranteed. It's paid out over the first 2 years. Then there's like a $10 million buyout. So it's 2 years, $100 million, 2 years, $90 million. What's the diff? Arthur Blank has it. The salary caps are through the roof, and they're fake to begin with. What's the harm? So instead of, let me just say this, I'd rather be them than you. I'd so much rather be a team that is overcompensated at that position and has a clear path and a clear plan at that position than a team like you that has now begun the 3-year quarterback cycle. 3 years ago, you draft a guy, you trot him out to the 50-yard line at Gillette Stadium like Drake Maye did today, like Mac Jones did 3 years ago. You pose with the jersey, with the crafts, and then you go and suck. And then 3 years later, you're tanking, sucking, worried about draft picks, and you draft the next guy and do it again. Over and over and over again. So congratulations, you're the Bears. You're any number of these crappy franchises that go in this cycle. I would so much rather be the Falcons with a guy who can win and play now, and then the next guy in their back pocket whenever that happens, and all it cost him was some money and a little bit of awkwardness. Kirk Cousins is pissed off. Who cares? Michael Penix is maybe a little annoyed. He's got to sit. He'll get over it. And that's how you do it. To me, that's how you do it.
If you like that clip, check out more videos from Felger and Mazz here. For more Patriots analysis and opinion, hit this playlist. And for all the latest from the Sports Hub, download the app at 985thesportshub.com.